Hey everyone, welcome to my devlog for Bookworm, a game I made in about a week for a game jam. In this game, you basically play as a worm whose sole purpose is to eat books. You can also eat people if you want, but ultimately, destroying an ancient library and plunging humanity into the Dark Ages is what this game is all about. However, unfortunately, the game ended up being, it ended up being a buggy mess is all I can say. Even more than my other jam games. Pretty sad, but hey, here's the devlog of me making Bookworm in 1 week for a game jam anyway.
I, King Charles, will smite you, you foul beast.
So the jam just started and blackboarding my game. I want to make a top-down shooter sort of game, you know. Don't we all get in that mood to make a top-down shooter sort of game every now and then? The theme this time around is forgotten knowledge. I don't know why, but the only thing on my mind is Bookworm. I can only think of Bookworm. So in this game, you'll play as a bookworm who will destroy an ancient library, making humanity forget their knowledge. And that ties into the theme, and you can see here that's you, the bookworm. You're destroying an ancient library, and along the way you'll come across many enemies, such as this dude right here, and you'll devour him because I want there to be particles, blood particles, and a lot of juice. That's my aim for this jam. Will I be able to recreate this scene in a game? So I started off by adding some basic movement to this circle here. It'll just follow the mouse around, and you press space to make it speed up and zoom by. Ooh, look at him go. Also, I'm just reusing my last year project files, lol. That's why it's got the same menu and such. I just sort of killed off all the letter fucking stuff, you know. Next, I added the word chain, as I call it, basically like a tail of circles which the player can whip around for fun. Oh, and it's meant to represent their life and power and such. And lastly, for this day, I added some basic walls and a dash ability. When the player right clicks, I want them to become rigid, go fast, and bounce around. Whoa. This bouncing and rigidness is meant to be the main thing that the player messes around with. Day 2, I awoke with a mind full of blood. Particles, that is. I want the worm to devour humans in its wake. So, I made some basic enemies that'll follow the player around and swing this big white block, which will eventually be turned into a sword. Oh look, they're swords now. And they swing around and look, they burst into blood particles when cool. How freaking cool is this? Blood. Also, there's some juice stuff like screen shakes and effects and such. Utter destruction. Final thing on this day, I added some basic walls so that the player can bounce around for fun, starting the works on making the map. On the third day, I started off by making a bomb for whatever frickin' reason. It blows up and flings the player around at high speeds. It's sort of fun to get blown up in this game. Also, as you heard, there's now some sound effects. And to showcase these sound effects, look, I as well made the final boss, this king dude, and we shall murder him. There's some oofs for damages and some splat sound effects for the blood. And this king has a flaming sword because I thought it'd be cool. I don't know, I was just sort of in a particle and sound sort of making mood this day. So I as well made the background music now. I'm still pretty new to making music. I sort of just click around in Boscaciel and made this. It gives the theme of, you know, sacking and destroying an ancient library. I think at least. Welcome to day 4. I started off in the morning by making new sprites, the book part of Bookworm. You see there's now bookshelves that explode into books when you hit them, just like the blood particles, but now with books. Also, the worm will open its mouth and chew whatever it's eating. Pretty neat. Even works when you're eating people. This is around a point where I found out how much of a buggy fucking mess this program is, especially in the web build. Godot tip for you guys, you can click this button up here to run the test in the web browser if you're uploading it to the web for a jam or something. But in the web build, it's just buggy as all hell. After breaking a lot of the bookshelves, the game just starts to wig out and the play can't move, and it's just a fucking mess, is all I can say. At the time, I assumed this was caused by something to do with the breaking and the particles being too much for the web browser to handle, and I figured the way to fix it was to make smaller rooms, and that mostly worked. Mostly, but not really, because the game's still a shitting buggy mess. But look, so now I've got basic linear levels. How cool. There's a door. The player needs to break the door and go on through to the next level. Under the hood, this is all a buggy, rushed mess that I made in a night that I never want to touch again. And the last thing I did on this day was add the book eating mechanic. So look, the players now eat the books and they gain life and power and grow and all of that. How cool. Oh, I didn't record this at the time, but I also made the worm's tail more better looking now. See before versus now. The worm's tail just doesn't bounce around anymore. Originally, it was using pin joints, but I changed it to have these pivot points now that actually rotate in the game based off of the previous pivot point in the chain. There's some clamps and some other stuff in the code, I don't know. And when you turn around, everything flips and all. Just the worm's tail looks a whole lot more realistic and better looking, is another thing that I did on this day. The final weekend is Among Us. There's two main things that I did over that weekend. The first was that I finished off the levels. There's 4 in total. Pretty linear. First you spawn in with some kids, which you can actually devour, though they pose no real threat to you. The second is with a single enemy. Third is with multiple enemy. And the final is with the king from before. And you kill him to win. You can see I've decorated the floor as well. There's rugs that say stuff such as "We love books," just to, you know, emphasize the fact that you're destroying what humans love. And there's other stuff such as this pizza party table, which when you destroy, it explodes into pizza particles. Pretty cool, but why did I make this? Seriously, why did I make this? I don't even know. The worm doesn't even eat pizzas. The worm eats books. You just ruined this pizza party by, you know, eating all the kids that were in attendance. Well, I actually made it because I like the particles I made before, so I just turned them into pizzas for fun, and that was the major reason why I made the pizza party. The second major thing I did was cutscenes. Yep, cutscenes. How fancy. Long ago in this very library, a worm the size of a man burst through the floor. It started devouring all the books. The worm grew in size with each new book it consumed. And on that day, kids, humanity lost all its knowledge to the bookworm. Grandpa, do you ever think the worm will you know, return one day, Grandpa? Oh, no, son, don't worry about it. It's just an ancient myth. I wouldn't really worry about it. Core drew the characters, and I sort of just reused them for a couple more cutscenes.
But the orc would be mad crazy.
Say if you win by defeating the king, you actually get the ending cutscene.
King Charles was no match, and humanity lost all its knowledge that day to the bookworm, plunging us into a dark age that we're only recently recovering from right now. And Grandpa, do you ever think the bookworm will, you know, return one day and kill us all? Oh, I wouldn't worry about it. It's just an urban myth.
And that's the story. I like how the story is basically just that you cause a dark age by eating all of humanity's books, and it might happen again, who knows? And that's pretty much it. I'm completely out of time, so I had to submit it. The game, especially in the web browser, is a buggy fucking mess. Oh well, it happens to all of us, doesn't it? I completely ran out of time, and I only found out about some of the bugs after as well, like pressing escape in the cutscenes bugs out the whole thing, and a whole bunch more. But That's it, the Bookworm, a game where you play as a monstrous worm that plunges humanity into the Dark Ages. Can we get a like on the video for Bookworm? Thanks for watching, subscribe for more, and have fun everyone. Bye bye.